two three-row SUVs. Similar price, similar power on paper. But once you're behind the wheel, the 2027 Kia Telluride and the 2026 Hyundai Palisade feel shockingly different. One is tuned to feel confident and planted, almost sporty for its size, while the other focuses on smooth comfort and quiet luxury. And here's the surprising part. Those differences can completely change how enjoyable your daily drive feels, even if you never go off-road or tow anything. So which one actually makes more sense for real U.S. families in 2026 and beyond? And which SUV quietly does it better? The Kia Telluride and the Hyundai Palisade have been two of the most popular three-row SUVs in the U.S. for a reason. They promise space, comfort, and premium features, without the luxury brand price tag. For 2026 and 2027, both brands are doubling down on that formula, but they're taking noticeably different paths. The 2027 Kia Telluride continues Kia's push toward a tougher, more confident image. It's aimed at families who want practicality, but also care about how their SUV looks and feels to drive. Think road trips, weekend adventures, and a vehicle that doesn't feel boring once the novelty wears off. On the other side, the 2026 Hyundai Palisade leans harder into comfort and refinement. Hyundai positions it as a near-luxury family SUV, quiet cabin, smooth ride, and an interior that feels more upscale than you might expect at this price point. It's clearly designed for long highway drives, carpools, and everyday commuting. This comparison matters because these two SUVs often end up on the same shopping list. They're similar in size, pricing, and power, yet their personalities are very different, and those differences don't show up on a spec sheet. They show up in daily driving, cabin feel, and overall ownership experience. So as we break them down side by side, the real question isn't which one is better on paper, but which one actually fits your lifestyle better once you start driving it. At first glance, the 2027 Kia Telluride and the 2026 Hyundai Palisade look like they're cut from the same cloth, but spend a little time around them, and the differences start to show fast. Starting with design, the Telluride still leans bold and rugged. Its upright stance, squared-off edges, and strong front end give it a confident, almost adventure-ready presence. It looks like an SUV that doesn't mind getting dirty, even if most owners never leave the pavement. The Palisade, by contrast, goes for a smoother, more premium look. Softer lines, a cleaner front fascia, and subtle chrome details make it feel closer to a luxury crossover than a traditional SUV. Park these two side by side, and you can already guess which one feels more aggressive and which one feels more elegant. Step inside, and that personality gap grows even wider. The Telluride's interior feels solid and purposeful. The materials are durable but still upscale, with clear buttons, a practical layout, and a driver-focused feel. Everything is easy to reach, easy to understand, and designed for real-world family use. The Palisade's cabin, on the other hand, feels calmer and more refined. Softer surfaces, ambient lighting, and a more flowing dashboard design give it a near-luxury vibe. It's the kind of interior that makes long drives feel shorter and daily commutes more relaxed. When it comes to technology, both SUVs come well-equipped, but they deliver it differently. The Telluride focuses on usability, large screens, sharp graphics, and features that feel intuitive rather than flashy. The Palisade leans into presentation, with a more polished interface and an emphasis on comfort-focused tech for passengers, not just the driver. Now let's talk about performance, because this is where the "they don't drive the same" claim really comes alive. On the road, the Telluride feels more planted and confident. Steering has a bit more weight, body control feels tighter, and the SUV responds quickly when you push it, especially on highways or winding roads. The Palisade, by comparison, prioritizes smoothness. Its suspension absorbs bumps more gently, road noise is lower, and everything feels tuned for comfort rather than excitement. Neither feels slow, but they clearly aim for different driving moods. Fuel efficiency and safety tech are competitive on both sides, with modern driver assist features and respectable economy for vehicles this size. But the way they deliver that experience is different, and that's what matters. And here's the twist. Once pricing, trims, and real-world value enter the picture, the decision isn't as obvious as it seems. One of these SUVs quietly offers more than you'd expect, and the other might surprise you in ways you didn't see coming. This is the moment where everything comes together, and where the gap between these two SUVs becomes impossible to ignore. Because once you stop reading spec sheets and actually drive them back to back, one thing becomes clear very quickly. They're built for very different people. Push the 2027 Kia Telluride a little harder, and it responds with confidence. Merging onto highways feels effortless, steering stays composed at higher speeds, and even on rougher roads, it never feels unsettled. There's a sense of control here that you don't always get in a three-row SUV. It feels like the Telluride wants to be driven, not just steered. That's the surprise. It's practical, but it's also engaging in a way most family SUVs simply aren't. Then you switch to the 2026 Hyundai Palisade, and the mood changes instantly. The cabin gets quieter, the ride gets smoother, road imperfections fade away. This is an SUV that prioritizes calm over confidence, relaxation over response. For long drives, school runs, and daily commuting, that softness can feel like a luxury feature in itself. But when you ask it to move quickly or handle sharper turns, you feel that comfort-first tuning holding it back. And this is the turning point. The Telluride slightly exceeds expectations by feeling more capable and composed than its family-friendly image suggests. The Palisade, while still excellent, reveals its limits when driving enthusiasm enters the equation. It never does anything wrong, but it also never pretends to be something it's not. Here's the real shock. Neither SUV is objectively better. They win in completely different ways, and depending on how and where you drive, one of these could feel like a perfect match, while the other might quietly disappoint. So which one actually deserves your money? That answer depends on one final factor most buyers overlook. So here's the bottom line. After driving, comparing, and living with both of these SUVs on paper and on the road, the choice between the 2027 Kia Telluride and the 2026 Hyundai Palisade isn't about which one is better. It's about which one fits you. If you want a three-row SUV that feels confident, controlled, and slightly more engaging than you'd expect, the Telluride stands out. Its bolder design, more planted driving feel, and practical no-nonsense interior make it a great fit for families who still care about the driving experience. It's the SUV for buyers who don't want something that feels soft or disconnected, even if most of their driving happens in the city or on the highway. The trade-off? It doesn't feel quite as quiet or plush as the Palisade in everyday cruising. The Palisade, on the other hand, is all about comfort and refinement. If your priorities are a smooth ride, a quiet cabin, and an interior that feels almost luxury level without paying luxury brand prices, this is where Hyundai shines. It's ideal for long road trips, daily commuting, and families who value calm over cornering confidence. The downside is that it lacks the slightly more engaging feel that makes the Telluride stand out when the road gets interesting. In the current U.S. market, where buyers want space, tech, and value without sacrificing comfort, both of these SUVs hit the sweet spot. But they also show a bigger trend. Mainstream brands are no longer just competing on features, they're competing on feel. And that's a big deal for future family SUVs. Now it's your turn. If you were choosing today, would you go with the confident Telluride or the comfort-first Palisade? Drop your pick in the comments, hit like if this comparison helped you, and subscribe for more real-world car reviews like this one.